Our 6-year anniversary is tomorrow, but I'm not sure if he's going to propose. Should I stay patient? That is you/no_research_8672. Hi everyone. I'm just looking for honest advice, especially from women who've been in long-term relationships and reached this point of what now? My boyfriend and I have been together for almost 6 years, our anniversary is tomorrow, and I'm starting to feel incredibly anxious. I'm 31, turning 32 this year, and he's about to turn 29. We've had some big life shifts over the years, not necessarily ups and downs, but changes that have impacted where we are now. Last year on our 5-year anniversary, he did acknowledge the day. He brought home some flowers and a card, but it was toward the evening. It didn't feel personal or intentional. When I asked him why he didn't really plan anything, he said that he felt it would be embarrassing to celebrate being a 5-year girlfriend. His words, not mine. He said he only wanted to celebrate with a proposal, that he didn't want to go all out for an anniversary if it wasn't going to include that. But shortly after, I found out he had just been laid off from his job around that same time. A few weeks later, we moved out of the apartment we'd been living in together for 3 years and moved back in with our parents, separately, with a plan to save money and move our life forward. That was a year ago. We've now both been at home for a year, and we've talked a lot about our future, marriage, kids, homeownership. All of it. And here's the part that's bothering me now. A few months ago in July, my dad happened to see him as he was arriving at my house. They spoke briefly, and my dad asked him, in a respectful, non-pressuring way, "You've been around a long time, when are you planning to propose to my daughter?" My boyfriend told him confidently, "Before the end of next month." Meaning before the end of August. My dad is usually chill and doesn't get into stuff like this, but he just decided to ask him. We're now at the end of August. Our anniversary is tomorrow, Friday. And August ends this Sunday. And I haven't seen or heard anything that suggests he's actually planning to follow through. He hasn't mentioned a dinner reservation. No hints, no dress nice, no don't make plans. Just regular daily interaction. And I've been intentionally avoiding dropping hints because I want the proposal to feel real and special, not like something I poked or pressured him into. This morning, I tested the waters and sent him a link to an art walk event happening this weekend in Destin, about 2 hours away from us. I framed it as something I was interested in doing, didn't mention proposals or anything like that. He replied enthusiastically and even said he could get us an Airbnb from Saturday through Monday so we can make a weekend of it. And while that might sound like initiative, it's making me feel uneasy. Because to me, that confirms he didn't have any actual plans already in place. If he did, he would have had to decline or rework the weekend, not just say yeah, let's go, and suggest a spontaneous trip. This has happened before. On Valentine's Day earlier this year, he said he had something special planned, and when I found out what it was tickets to Universal Studios and Disney World. A big gesture, sure. But what I really wanted was progress. The proposal. Not just another trip or experience to distract from what really matters to me. To be clear, he's told me recently that his savings are looking really good. That's stuck with me. If finances are in order, and the relationship is steady, what's the holdup? I've already made up my mind that I won't accept a proposal that comes after September 1st, not because I'm trying to give an ultimatum, but because it simply won't feel special anymore. It would feel late. Like I had to wait him into it, and I can't accept that. I'm at a point in life where I want to build something, a home, a family, a future. And I can't keep dragging my heart through these kinds of almost moments just to keep the peace. So I'm asking, am I being unreasonable? Would you wait past the deadline he set for himself? Or would you take his inaction as the answer? Update. Hey, I know some of y'all were asking for an update from my previous post, but it was locked by the mods. I'm getting ready for dinner as I type this, but honestly, a part of me feels like I'm not going to be proposed to tonight. And that's a hard pill to swallow. In the last post, I mentioned that he told me, verbatim, that I would not be his girlfriend by our next anniversary. He said he would 1000% be proposing by then. And he told my dad the same thing. So this wasn't something I imagined or hinted about. It came directly from him. Now fast forward to today. He sent me a sweet good morning text, booked me a massage for 5 p.m., and made dinner reservations at one of our favorite restaurants for 8:30 p.m. But the restaurant closes at 9 p.m. That already raised an eyebrow for me. I asked him if he meant 7:30 instead, and he just said, "Nah, but I can move it up earlier if you want." That response, and the fact that he only called the restaurant earlier today, made things feel more casual than I expected. I guess I'm just sitting here asking myself, would it be unreasonable for me to leave him if he doesn't propose tonight? Yes, there are a few days left in August, but if you tell someone you're going to do something by a certain date, and they plan their heart around that timeline, are they wrong for walking away when it doesn't happen? I'm trying not to spiral. I know there's still a dinner to go to. But deep down, I'm preparing myself to be let down, and trying to figure out what comes next if I am. Update. He handed me a David Yurman bracelet that I've been wanting for months now. He's being pretty quiet at dinner. Update. A few of you asked for an update, so here it is. Our anniversary was yesterday. He planned a dinner at one of our favorite restaurants, and earlier in the day, he told me he had booked a massage for me and that we had 8:30 reservations. When he got to my house, he had a big bouquet of flowers and the David Yurman bracelet I'd been wanting. But the way he gave it to me felt strange. It was off. He didn't look me in the eye, he just passed the bag to me quickly before heading to the bathroom to change. I said thank you, but a part of me knew in that moment, when he gave me that expensive bracelet like that I wouldn't be getting a proposal that night. He kept telling me I looked beautiful and amazing, and that he liked the color I was wearing. I'd put effort into looking good for our anniversary, and I know I looked good. But when I looked at him, there was a sadness or disappointment in his eyes. Something felt off. I think he was picking up on how quiet I had gotten after he gave me the bracelet. When we got to the restaurant, he tried making small talk, but I wasn't really going. I was just mirroring his energy because something in me could tell he wasn't fully present. Eventually, I asked him why he was so quiet, and I brought up the bracelet. He immediately defended himself, saying he was just on his way to change clothes and didn't mean anything by how he gave it to me. I told him it just didn't feel special. Then I asked him directly, "Are you proposing tonight?" He looked disappointed and said, "No." That's when I told him to cancel the food order because I was ready to leave, and I got up and walked out. When we got in the car, I told him I felt like this was over. I said if I stayed, I'd just be wasting more time. I asked when he planned to propose, and he started fumbling over his words and said something like maybe in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I told him he had until today, and that was it for me. The car ride home was quiet. When we got close to the house, I didn't say much. I got out and went inside. A few minutes later, I noticed he had turned his location off. I texted him shortly after and told him to come get the dog and his things. He came back, picked everything up, and we ended up having one final conversation before he left. I told him flat out I'm getting older, I'm in my early 30s, and I've been clear that I'm ready to move forward with my life. He gave me his word, and he even gave my father his word that he would propose by the end of this month. Now all of a sudden, when I ask directly, he tells me probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I asked him what difference a few weeks would even make. He said I was wrong to assume he doesn't want to marry me or that he doesn't love me. He said that he loves me more than he loves himself. He said he hates that it looks like he doesn't want to marry me because that's not the case. And then he brought up something that caught me off guard. He said years ago, I mentioned that one of my cousins got proposed to with a $10,000 ring, and ever since then, he thought that was what I expected and felt like that's honestly what I deserve after waiting so long. I had only mentioned the price of the ring to say how over the top it was, not to encourage him. I've always told him I don't need a ring that expensive, and he knows that. I'm not materialistic like that. I told him I'm not falling for that excuse. I never asked for a $10,000 ring, and he knows that. What I was really thinking is, yes, we hit some financial struggles last year. He lost his job for a month, we moved back in with our parents, and we've been living there ever since. Our plan was to move out this year. I've been patient. But none of that changes the fact that he's had time to plan, time to save since we live at home with our parents and he hasn't. Before he left, I'll admit I was really upset. I called him a liar. And when I did, he said something like, if that's what you think of me, then let's just both be done because there's nothing I can say at this point. And then I told him to leave. Since then, he hasn't reached out. It's been 12 hours and I haven't heard a word from him. I'm pretty sure he's already deleted all of my pictures. I turned my location off too. So now I'm just here, sitting with it. I lost my mom to cancer last year. My dad is getting older. And no, I'm not trying to live for my parents. But it hurts deeply knowing my mom will never get to see me get married or have kids. I spent 6 years with this man. 6 years of my life. And now it's just done. I booked an appointment with my old therapist.